Hey guys, Scott here. We're going to do a walkthrough video today on this Puma XLE 23SBC. I'm just going to hit the outside real quick first, and then we'll go inside and check everything out. So we'll go up front and we'll come back around to the door. Up front here, you've got your propane tanks. These are equipped with your auto changeover regulator. Pretty straightforward on how these work. There's going to be a little indicator arrow pointing to one tank or the other. Doesn't matter which side you start on, you want to open up both tanks at the same time. The indicator in here will go from red to green, telling you that propane is flowing. Once the tank that it's pointing to runs out, as long as the other tank is full and turned on, it'll automatically start drawing from the other side. So what you want to do is occasionally come out here and take a look at this indicator. If it's gone from green to red, simply flip it to the other side. Turn this tank off, disconnect it here, take it up to your local propane place to get refilled, and the system keeps on going. So that's what this is going to do for you, is make sure you just keep an eye on that periodically. If you don't change them side to side, it can run both bottles out. You need to check this once in a while. Behind here is our marine style deep cycle battery, 12 volt. It's already hooked into here, into the system, hooked up. I'm not going to take the cover off of it. But it will charge when the vehicle is towing down the road. It'll also charge when the vehicle is plugged into a power source. Up front, little switch says docking lights, pretty straightforward. The blue lights on the front of the cap is what those are for. Coming around to the side here, this unit is generator prepped. It doesn't have a generator in it, so basically it's a storage area for right now. But if in the future you want to put a generator in there, it has everything equipped for it. Outside shower has hot and cold, just like your inside shower, except for it's on the outside. Works off the city water or the freshwater pump. Above is our city water connection. Every trailer that we've got out here has one of these. They are not equipped with a pressure regulator, so it is recommended that you use a pressure regulator on your city water connections. That way, if you get ups and downs in your water, it won't blow out any lines or cause any leaks or anything like that inside. So pressure regulators always recommended. Down below, we got our sewer drain, black and gray. They make it nice and easy because they're color coded. The large 3-inch one is your black tank, your toilet tank. The gray handle, the 1.5 inch, is your sinks in your shower. When they're out like they are, they're open. Simply push them in to close them. Sewer cap goes on there when you're traveling down the road. Water heater. This is a 6-gallon water heater. This one is gas and electric. For the electric version on this, there is a little on-off switch down here in the bottom corner. When you're plugged into a campground, you can turn that switch on, and that turns on the electric element, making this an electric water heater. You can also run it with the propane and electric at the same time for a fast recovery. A few minutes quicker than just one or the other, but it is nice to have that option. So like I said, this is a gas and electric, so you can do either or both at the same time. Right next to our water heater is our freshwater fill. Simply take the cap off, put your garden hose in the hole, and let it fill up from there. The drain for it's going to be underneath the camper. But when you're over here, you don't want to just walk away from it because it can overflow, swell the tank, and then cause issues down the road. So you want to kind of keep an eye on the tank with a tank monitor inside. That will go over here momentarily. This is your furnace exhaust. Just like it says, don't block the openings, and the bottom one is your exhaust, your actual exhaust port. So this will be hot when the furnace is running. The top part is your air intake. So if you're camping, you got things around this area, and you're using the furnace, make sure that this side of it's not covered up because it will melt things. This is your power cord, fully extended. It's about 35 feet long, so it's more than enough power cord to pretty much take you wherever you need to go. But it is 30 amp, it's twist lock style, and it has this nice little blue light on top to let you know it's plugged in and got power going through there. There's also a blue light on the plug back there to let you know that you've got power at your pole. Above that is our refrigerator vent, mainly just for maintenance purposes. If you can see the little hose sticking out right here, this is for your condensation drain. There's a tray in the refrigerator that will catch condensation off the fins, and that allows the water to drain out without getting on the inside stuff. Above that, our cooktop vent for our range hood. It does have a couple little tabs that you'll pop loose. That lets it flap freely when you're using it. You simply push them in and lock it into place when you're done for travel and you're not using it. If you get to open that up when you're using it, you will likely melt it. So you want to keep that in the back of your head, that you want to open up the vent when you are cooking. This is prep for the outside ladder, which is actually strapped down inside because this one's getting ready to leave on delivery. But it simply snaps in with little pins on the sides to the spots on here, and it has a spot on the top where it hooks up. Below this is our fuel station. So this is the pump itself for filling up your ATVs, motorcycles, whatever maybe that you're carrying with you. The fill cap right next to it for your gasoline. And then you also have your gauge and your pump station switch. Now there also is a switch inside that you'll need to turn on as well. It's a safety switch, that way people can't just come up and turn your pump on and pump fuel out while you're not there. So it makes it nice and easy, nicely labeled inside as well. These little rectangular boxes right here are what they call ram air vents. So if you're carrying your motorcycle, ATV, whatever it may be in the cargo area, there's one on each side, and as you travel down the road, one side catches air, the other side lets the air out, keeping the smell of gasoline and things like that out of the camper. That way when you get there, it's not, you know, smelling like gasoline. Cable satellite hookups right here, nicely labeled for what they are. Top one being satellite, bottom one being your cable. So if you go to a place where they've got cable, hook it into there. If you got a portable satellite or anything you carry with you, hook it in the top one. You can see it's toy hauler, so fold down back. We don't have that down right now, but it's pretty straightforward of flipping the latches up, pushing the handle up, pulling it out on each side, and then the door will fold down. Coming out the back is a little crank part for a spare tire. So you have your area there to drop the spare. Coming around to the side, these have electric stabilizer jacks. Switches are nicely labeled, extend and retract. So extend is going to extend our legs down from the camper, retract's going to bring them up. They are a type of self-leveling, so when one hits the ground, the other one will continue down until they both hit, and then they lift together. The key word in this is stabilizers. They are not leveling jacks. So you want to just take the weight of the trailer from rocking around. You don't want to actually pick the trailer up with these jacks. And this trailer has one at the front and the back. This is for our outside grill. This is where the grill would actually mount and hook up. Underneath the coach is where the LP Quick Connect is. So you can use the barbecue grill out here. Now it is located underneath the awning, so it's our recommendation that if you're cooking underneath the awning that you close the awning, that we don't have that smoke and grease potentially getting all over the awning itself. You can see up there is the other ram air vent. So this is the side that you'd probably have open to catch the air. The one at the bottom on the other side that we already went over will be a side that you'll have open to let the air out. Outside outlets down there, and then a nice big storage compartment up here. If you take a look in this one, it's where the grill and the Quick Connect are, but nice big storage on the outside. Other than that, we're going to head inside and we'll remove everything in there. All right, so right here by the door is our main controls for everything in the coach. We'll start at the top. Pretty straightforward what they're labeled as. Awning in and out, so it's power awning. Just hit the button. When you stop, it stops. You definitely want to keep that in mind when you're camping outside and it's raining real hard, it's really windy outside. Power awning is very expensive to replace, and you know, there is no wind sensors on these things. So if you got it out and you know it's windy outside, it's definitely a recommendation to bring it in. Same with if it's raining real hard. To the right of that is our tank heater. So this has water tank, fresh water, gray water, black water is all heated. So there's heating pads on all the tanks to keep them from freezing in the wintertime. So it's nice to have. You just flip that on. Red light indicates that it's powering up. They don't activate until it's 45 degrees or lower inside that tank. So if you're camping and then the water's going to get below that, just kick that on and let it stay on and keep it from freezing. Down here is just some interior lights. So these switches are right here, just interior and exterior lights. Water dispensing system right there. This is the switch that you have to turn on inside as well as the one outside to make the fuel station pump work. If you don't have this one on, doesn't matter if you have the one outside on, it won't work. This is the safety switch, that way people can't just come up and pump your gas out for you. Above that is our monitor panel. So it's just touch buttons, fresh, gray, black, and battery. If you hit the button, it'll tell you where it's at. So that's telling you that our tanks are empty. You can hit each tank to let you know the representation of how full it is. Once they get 3/4 or full, you want to definitely drain them out. Unless it's fresh water, then if you're getting close to empty, you definitely want to refill that if you're using the freshwater tank. The other two switches, the water pump, this is your on-demand pump if you're using the freshwater system. So you'll leave that on at all times if you're using the freshwater tank for your water source. It's an on-demand pump, so it'll build pressure. Once pressure is made, it'll turn itself off. Flush the toilet, turn on faucet, pump kicks on automatically until it builds pressure until it's back off again. The switch inside for our water heater is our propane system. So when we turn this switch on, this DSI fault light comes on. Here momentarily, this light over here is going to turn itself off. When that light goes off, that's when the water heater is trying to light itself on propane. If it does not find propane, like in this test right here we're doing, the light will come back on. So hopefully I got this timed out. It turned off. This is when it's trying to light itself. It's going to go through its system, not going to find propane after so many tries, and the light comes back on. If that light stays off, that means it found propane and it lit. It will try 3 different times before it completely stops trying. And it is a auto refire, so if the water temperature gets to the max temperature it has, it'll turn itself off automatically. So So this light will actually come back on periodically if you're using just the propane side to let you know that it reached temperature. Use the hot water, cold water goes back in, it senses the temperature change and fires itself back up again automatically. Pretty simple, pretty easy. If you look back in the coach here, this one does have the pass-through dinette on the bottom, and it has the bunk on top that comes down. So the bunk on top is secured by 4 pins that we will leave in for travel since it's getting ready to leave. Simply remove these pins, unstrap our bed to fold it down on each side, and there is a control that runs these down behind the bed. And it has an up and down function, real easy, real straightforward. There are stops that are built into this bunk. If you bring the camera over here, you'll see them in here. They are adjustable. So these little silver gold things in here can be moved up and down with how high you want the top bunk to be. Other than that, you just fold the bed down on the bottom and set up for your dinette. Looking through the coach in here, it's nice and well lit and open for what we've got. Refrigerator is the Dometic gas and electric water or refrigerator. So I'm going to turn it to on. I'm going to push this button in so the auto light comes on. Auto is going to automatically search for electric first. If it does not find electric, it'll automatically switch to trying to find propane. If it does not find either, the check light will illuminate, letting you know that it didn't find either. Right now it's going to stay on auto because we're plugged into electricity, and this is going to be your best friend. So when you're using the refrigerator and freezer, just power it on, leave it on auto. It'll do everything that you need it to do automatically. These do have a temperature control. They're located inside the refrigerator. This little guy in the bottom right here is connected to a hose. The higher up this thing slides with the hose connected to it, the colder it will make it in the refrigerator. Freezer's a preset temperature that it'll get down to automatically to freeze. Refrigerator can be adjusted accordingly. These guys take up to 8 hours to get 100% cold, so you definitely want to turn these on before you go camping. That way you can make sure it's cold and everything that's in there is going to be cold. That way you're not getting to your campground and you're complaining because my refrigerator is taking forever to get cold. It also helps to put cold items in there, cold drinks, food, whatever. It helps keep the temperature down. Our cooktop and oven, this is the only place in the camper that you have to light anything is the oven. The cooktop itself has an igniter, so I'll turn the burners on, whichever one I want or all three. I'll simply twist this around clockwise. Every time you hear it snap like that, that's when it's igniting the burners. So if I got my middle one on and I'm twisting it around, I'm trying to light it on the propane. In the oven, on the other hand, all the way in the bottom, all the way in the back, the same side the knob's on is going to be our pilot light. For the pilot, we're going to turn the pilot on. We're going to push in and hold the knob, stick a lighter in the back and light the pilot. Once the pilot's lit, we let it burn for a few minutes, and then we'll turn it on to our temperature. Then that rod in there will light up a flame, and it's like any normal oven. If you're going to use the oven a lot, it's recommended to leave the pilot on. If you're only using the oven periodically, turn the pilot off, that way you're not burning up propane. Range hood does have a light and a fan, so you can vent the stuff outside. Microwave is pretty standard household style microwave, nothing too fancy about that I need to go over. We'll have our cameraman move into the bathroom while I explain it from out here, because there's not a whole lot that we can fit in there. Basically, you've got a foot flush toilet, you have a handle toilet flush on the side. Pull the handle halfway, that'll engage the water valve to put water in the toilet. Pull the lever all the way and that'll flush the toilet. Other than that, pretty standard shower, sink. There are a couple switches on the side of the wall right here by the toilet, one for the light, one for the vent. So that way you don't have to reach up to the vent and turn it on and off every time. But not a whole lot in there to really go over. Behind the door here is going to be our thermostat. So with the thermostat, once again, little tight quarters through here. We have it in the off position right now. Just like our refrigerator, auto is our best friend. So whether we're in heat or cool, auto is going to automatically work the temperature that we set to. So if I set it to 70, keep my heat to on, doesn't matter on high or low because the furnace only has one speed, but the auto works the thermostat. So it'll sense 70 degrees, turn itself off. Now on the air conditioner side, it does have a high and low, but same scenario. Set it to whatever temperature you want, it'll reach that temperature and shut off. If I turn the fan to just on, I am just running the fan in the air conditioner. I'm actually not using the thermostat itself. So we get a lot of phone calls about that. So just leave it in auto, select high or low when it comes to the air conditioner. It doesn't make a difference when it comes to the heat, but auto is our best friend when it comes in the camper. Other than that, bedroom's pretty straightforward. Not a whole lot to go over in there. There is an antenna on the ceiling. It's a king jack antenna, so it's a fixed antenna. It's not your traditional crank up style. These are supposed to pick up a lot better reception, but it can be adjusted. That's what the knob is for. You can just twist it around. Other than that, that's about all I got. Any questions, give us a call, 877-877-4494. Thanks.